Yeah, if you weren't watching yesterday, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, don't worry about it because here's what you missed. The 32 quarterbacks, we put them in the pyramid. These 4 quarterbacks didn't make the pyramid because they're starting quarterbacks in name only. We can move on. We don't need to talk about these guys who will all be benched throughout the year. Bottom row. These guys are starters. All of them will start throughout the season with the possible exception of Tua and Goff, but they are entrenched starters. They're the bottom row. The next row is the final one we revealed yesterday. Cousins is fine. Like, he's a fine player. Baker Mayfield once upon a time was a good player. We'll see what Jalen and Lance have long term, but it kind of shows the depth of the position. So that's what we revealed yesterday. Now we will get to 15 guys, all of which are good players. You have a depth of quarterback in the league right now that I can't remember. So Russ, Kyler, Carr, Matt Ryan, and Trevor Lawrence. These are all good to very good quarterbacks. Kyler has had great moments. Russ has had amazing moments. Unfortunately, they all came during the Obama administration, but they did happen. Derek Carr's coming off his best season. Matt Ryan gets a change of scenery. And I believe in the pedigree of Trevor Lawrence, a guy who has been the best player at his age every single moment of his life, with the exception of last season. And last season, I'm going to blame mostly on the dysfunction of Jacksonville. Now we're to the top 10. These 4 guys are Deshaun almost set aside because we don't know what we're going to get from him. Rodgers, Lamar, Dak. Great regular season quarterbacks with some questions come the postseason. For Lamar, he answered some of them, and then he took a bit of a step back. Dak, it's been well documented by Broussard, his struggles against good teams. And I don't know how many times we have to watch Aaron Rodgers from September to December be the best quarterback in football, and then come January be mediocre before we're like, maybe it's a trend. Now we're to the top 6, who are all great quarterbacks. These are great quarterbacks. Tom Brady, resume speaks for itself. You expect him to be a little bit worse in his age 45 season, but still, he's the greatest quarterback, greatest player of all time. Matt Stafford, I was a Matt Stafford skeptic going into this past year. He obviously proved me and others wrong. And Joe Burrow's coming off a Super Bowl appearance and coming off beating Mahomes in his building with a great second half. Now we're to the top 3. Josh Allen, I said it after the game last year. I doffed my cap. I have massive fear of Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is the only player in the league that has an argument against Mahomes. The Justin Herbert thing is going to raise some eyebrows. Justin Herbert has the most yards ever through 2 seasons, the most touchdowns ever through 2 seasons, the most 300-yard games ever through 2 seasons. I believe Justin Herbert is a top 3 quarterback starting now. This is a bit of a projection. It's going into next season. And number 1, it goes without saying, obviously, it's Patrick Mahomes. So there it is. I don't even need to spend time on Mahomes. Everyone that's unbiased understands the best quarterback in the league. Brew, let's talk about the top 15. I have a feeling well, you know what? I'm not going to guess what you're going to say because it irritates me when you do that to me. So I will go into this with an open mind. What is your thoughts on the top 15?
I'm baffled. You got the number 1 right. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
And I like Josh Allen too, but I cannot have Josh Allen and certainly not Justin Herbert ahead of the GOAT. I'm sorry. And it's not about lifetime achievement. It's about last year. Josh Allen declined in every single category last year. Now, I know he was phenomenal in the playoffs. He was outstanding, and he has been in his brief career great in the playoffs. But I can't move because of what he's done in the playoffs. I can't put him ahead of Brady. And Justin Herbert, you're right. You mentioned all his accolades. He also is tied for the least fewest playoff appearances in your first 2 seasons. That would be 0, okay? So I'm not going, I just think the young guys, you got them a little too high. Mr. Unlimited. Are we really Dak Prescott ahead of Mr. Unlimited? Deshaun Watson, I'll give you that. Just, we don't know,
they're all
but
on the
I
same
can't
row.
put Deshaun ahead of
I don't have them ahead of
him. No.
They're on the same.
Mr. Unlimited. No, show it again. You have Mr.
I'm sorry.
Unlimited.
I thought you were talking
a
Rodgers.
tier beneath.
You're right. You're right. My bad. I thought you were talking Rodgers. Go ahead. Sorry.
And look, this has to be settled once and for all. Because you're under the impression, I'd even put him ahead of Lamar as well. You're under the impression that Russell Wilson was horrible last year. That the decline is evident. He's on his way down.
Top 5
he was
rating.
5th in the league in passer rating. He was 5th in the league in yards per attempt. He played 3 games, at least 3, with a bum finger because he came back early because he's got heart.
Like a
when Baker Mayfield plays through injury, oh my gosh, let's give him a trophy. Let's celebrate him. Any bad play, he was hurt. He was hurt. When Russell Wilson does it, you mock him. You laugh at him. You hate on him. I will not allow that. And for all and you think he was down last year when he had one of the worst offensive lines in the league, as he typically did in Seattle the last several years. And he beat Indianapolis, San Francisco twice, and Arizona on the last week of the season when the Cardinals had something to play for in the playoff seeding. And so you are going to eat your words this year, Nick, because Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams in the backfield, going from a horrible offensive line in Seattle to a solid one. Not great, but solid in Denver. Oh, yeah. Mr. Unlimited is going to rise up your tiers just like Josh Allen did. Once upon a time, Wiles, he was a hater on Josh Allen.
Listen,
so
poor Russell Wilson.
You're gonna learn.
All he had was DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. But now he has Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton, so he'll really be able to flourish.
No time.
Listen.
No time to throw it.
Here is, Brew, we're going to do this again in an hour. So I'm going to do what to you during the show, what Wilds loves to do to me after almost every show, and then fake apologize for it. I'm going to give you a homework assignment. Find me in the next hour your favorite Russell Wilson playoff moment that has come in the last 7 years. That's what I would like. Because the last great Russell Wilson playoff moment came in February of 2015. If you're like, wow, that feels like a long time ago. How long ago was that? Well, 50 Shades of Grey was the #1 movie in America, and Uptown Funk was the #1 song in America. Love Bruno Mars, but that was some of his earlier work. So find me your favorite Russell Wilson playoff moment that has come in the last 7 years, and we can discuss it. Wilds, go ahead.
Okay. We're off next week on vacation. And Nick, I would like to invite you to Las Vegas, where you might be there already. And the reason why is because I want to meet up, you and I, in a pool. Just bathing suits. And we're in a pool because I need to tell you something. And I need to make sure you're not wearing a wire. That's always one of my favorite scenes. Meet in the pool so you know the other guy's not wearing a wire. And here's what I would tell you. You know your best take that I won't admit outside of this pool is when you say LeBron gets penalized for going to the playoffs and failing, but we never talk about Jordan's playoff failures. And I was like, yikes, that is a great take. Don't ever repeat that again. That's why we're in the pool. So since it's such a good take, Aaron Rodgers goes to the playoffs and doesn't perform great. But Justin Herbert is the Jordan in this situation. Oh, what talent. But doesn't go far in the playoffs, doesn't make the playoffs. But all of a sudden, it's the potential. Oh, my goodness, Broussard. Did you see the Justin Herbert throw on Instagram? Wow, the coaches. Oh, my goodness. They like to throw on 4th down. Oh, my goodness gracious. Meanwhile, this guy leads the league in passer rating 2 years in a row and has 4 MVPs now, and he has to sit behind Justin Herbert. Why? Because he has better version of long hair, throws the ball nicely, and doesn't make it to the playoffs.
The point.
Aaron Rodgers being disrespected.
First of all, if you're going to tell me my LeBron take is my best take, then please quote it properly. I have never said LeBron gets penalized for making it to the playoffs and failing. It's the finals. So if Rodgers was just regularly in the Super Bowl and losing, it would be a different story. And yes, I admit some of the Herbert thing is projection, but it is worth noting, since Herbert came into the league 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers has a whole one more playoff victory. One. And he's been in the playoffs every year. Herbert has not yet been there. So listen, Aaron Rodgers at some point, and Brew, I know you agree with me, when a guy is a 98 out of 100 in consecutive regular seasons, and then a 50 out of 100 in consecutive postseasons, and you start to look around and say, wait, they were at home. They did have the better team. They were healthy. Why is it? And that Niners game has scarred me. Losing the way they did, scoring a touchdown on the opening drive, and then going comatose offensively, missing Lazard over the middle, losing to a team who didn't score an offensive touchdown in your building. It's hard to get over.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.